Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My amendment is a common sense provision that would help reverse some of the damaging efforts directed at the SEC we've seen this Congress, efforts that have been squarely aimed at hamstringing the Commission, including underfunding the SEC by $300 million or 20% below the President's fiscal year 2015 request, bogging down the SEC in onerous cost-benefit analysis provisions that would divert resources away from important efforts like enforcement, and mired attempts in the Financial Services Committee to limit the information available to retirees that make decisions about whether to put their hard-earned money into public companies. My amendment would help to counteract these efforts by providing the SEC with the authority to impose and collect reasonable user fees on federally registered investment advisors for the purpose of increasing the number and frequency of SEC examinations. This is consistent with my bill, H.R. 1627, the Investment Advisor Examination Improvement Act, which I have co-authored with Representative Delaney. Today, investment advisors may go more than a decade before being visited by the SEC. It is absolutely essential that we improve the oversight of investment advisors, the people that manage the assets of millions of individual and institutional investors across the country. This is particularly true if we are underfunding the SEC by $300 million, as this underlying bill proposes. The SEC currently only examines approximately 9% of advisors annually out of the almost 11,000 advisors registered with the Commission. The legislation and this amendment provide the SEC with additional resources to conduct more examinations and protect investors. I believe this amendment and our bill provides the simplest, most efficient solution to the problem of inadequate advisor oversight. Also, because the user fees contemplated in the amendment would only be used to fund the regulation of investment advisors and not to subsidize other functions at the SEC, I think that this option would be more cost-effective for the industry. In fact, a study by the Boston Consulting Group supports that point. This amendment will help the SEC to close this resource gap, and by entrusting this responsibility to the Commission, it will also leverage their 70-year history of experience in this regulatory role and prevent the establishment of a duplicative SRO bureaucracy. In addition to consumer and retiree advocates, my bill is supported by the investment advisor industry, including the Investment Advisor Association, the Financial Planning Association, the National Association of Personal Financial Advisors, and the Certified Financial Planner Board. They support my bill because they know that clear rules of the road and robust examinations bolster public confidence in the market and ultimately help their bottom line. I urge the adoption of this amendment. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. For what purpose does the gentleman from Florida seek recognition?
Mr. Chairman, I make a point of order against the amendment because it proposes to change existing law and constitutes legislation in an appropriation bill and therefore violates Clause 2 of Rule 21. The rule states in pertinent part, an amendment to a general appropriations bill shall not be in order if changing existing law. This amendment directly amends existing law, and I ask for a ruling from the chair.
Any other members seek recognition to speak on the point of order? If not, the chair is prepared to roll. The chair finds that this amendment directly amends existing law. The amendment therefore constitutes legislation in violation of Clause 2 of Rule 21, and the point of order is sustained, and the amendment is not in order. The clerk will read.